And good day. This is Kent Barnes, and I am recording this podcast on Wednesday, May the 25th. This is the weekly community podcast regarding your and my Holly Area School District. Want to share a couple of things with you. The State Senate is scheduled to adopt the conference report this morning. I would again encourage you to continue to contact our legislators. There's a couple of things in this conference report that I just have great concerns about. One is the rebasing of the foundation of allowance of $470, the use of $195.9 million from the school aid fund for a community college budget, the use of $200 million school aid fund dollars for higher education budget, as I just mentioned, the rebasing or reduction of per pupil foundation allowance of $470 is proposed by the governor. The one-time funding of $154 million for new best practices that will supposedly provide $100 per student per pupil grant to districts that meet 4 or 5 best practices. As I mentioned to a couple of legislators last week, those are not best educational practices. Those are what they define as best physical or financial practices that include posting of dashboard with specific indicators, obtaining competitive bids on non-instructional services, charging employees a minimum of 10% of health costs. That does not mean health insurance. That means all health cost, long-term disability, vision, dental, whatever. It would lump all of those together. The holding the policy of all medical benefit plans and continuation of the consolidation plans. I think we easily will meet 4 of 5 of those. That's not my concern. The concern is always with the devil's in the details. What are the rubric? What's the matrix? There is also a one-time funding of $155 million to districts to partially offset the MIPSR's retirement obligation. That is not a reduction in the MIPSR's or the retirement rate. It's a one-time offset, and while that's well and good, the retirement rate cannot just continue to increase. I don't disagree that there has to be accountability. I don't disagree that we all need to be working to minimize expenditures as best we can. What I do think is reasonable, if we're going to take dollars from the school aid fund for community colleges and higher ed, then hold them to the same accountability that you are with public schools. Whether it be the transparency, whether it be the graduation rates, whether it be a lot of different things, hold them to the same accountability. I don't dislike community colleges. I don't dislike higher ed. But I just paid my daughter's tuition bill for this summer. And I don't think it's the same as it was a couple of summers ago. Now, granted, now she's in graduate school as opposed to being undergraduate, but the graduate rates, the undergraduate rates at universities, and they're increasing, as well as it bothers me that at the same time I recommended and the board approved $4.6 million worth of reductions Monday night, that universities are giving raises. So there's a lot to discuss. But my fear also is that the legislature is going so fast, so quick, they're making policy through the budget process, and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. They're going so fast that still they don't know what they don't know yet. And again, my basic point lies with some areas such as special education. The AI, EI, CI, LD, dual diagnosis, day treatment, things of that nature, the SXI, SMI. And I'm totally in support of special education. That's not my issue. My issue is that there are certain costs, there are certain expenditures if we open the door. And our school district has tried very hard to minimize expenditures. The revenues, obviously, from the state and the federal government are going down, which we've discussed over the past few months. So I encourage you to contact your legislators. If we had the 7316, we'd live within our means. We're like everyone else. If we had what were told we would get, we'd make do. We'd do something. But you can't use the school aid fund to balance the state's budget. It's that simple. Now, if it needs to be tweaked, then there needs to be discussion. It doesn't need to be something pushed through in less than 5 months. So, on a much brighter note, our graduation will be on Friday, June the 3rd at 7 o'clock in the Arena at Oakland University. And we greatly appreciate Oakland University and the use of their facilities. They're magnificent facilities. And it's a wonderful time. We try to keep the graduation ceremony not a long, laborious, lengthy, but hopefully an hour and 15 minutes. And that gives people time to take their pictures and maybe go out and have a nice supper afterwards. Or, hopefully our seniors will come to the all-night party. So as always, I thank you very much. The school year is quickly ending, and I am hopeful that you have had a wonderful experience with the Holly Area School District, but not just with our school district. I think the public schools, as a general rule, are being all brushed with a very wide swath that's just not true. And again, I go back to the only 16% of high school students are ready for college. I just don't believe that. Almost 1 in 8 students at Holly High School were taking AP exams. So these things and others will be forthcoming in probably a little bit longer Barnes-Graham than you're used to getting, and it'll be sectionalized regarding various aspects. So as always, I thank you very much. Again, if you have the opportunity to contact your legislators, I wish you would. In any event, thank you. Have a great day and a great rest of the week. And until next time, take care.